Hello, Aries. I'm Louise from BeHealing.com, and this is your monthly read for March 2020. How are you doing, Aries? I hope you're all well. If you'd like a private reading with me, Aries, then there's a link up there to book in for one of those. Those are my general readings. You've got some options to choose from when you book in there. And I get all of my readings out within 24 hours of you booking them. So let's have a look. What have you got in store for you in March? I'm going to do this a little bit differently this month. I'm going to go into a story first of all. What's your story, Aries, in March? Okay, so we're starting off with an idea. We're starting off with an idea of this story, your story in March, Aries. You've had an idea, and I feel like it's an idea that you've had already, maybe in the last month. Maybe in February you had an idea, and you've been wondering how to proceed on that idea, what you should do first, what your first step should be. Maybe you've had an inkling as to many different ways that you can actually make this happen, but none of them are standing out for you. Well, March is a month where you're going to be moving forward on that idea, so keep that idea in mind. But this is about the choices that you've got, if you've had there are certain ways that you could do this, right? There's actions that you could take. And if you've got a choice of, say, 3 or 4 actions that you could do to move forward on this idea, whatever that idea is for you, then this is saying choose the option that is the best time for you. And that's because you're going to stick at it if it's a good time for you. You're going to have like a positive motivation to do it that's going to last a bit longer if it's good for you. You might want to take the option that seems to be able to get the results fastest, but if you've got no motivation to keep going with that idea, then if you haven't got the energy that you're putting into it, if you're not taking those action steps because you're not motivated, because you're not getting anything from it, then you're not going to get those results. You're not going to get the results from it. And so this is saying, keep in mind that you feeling good and having a good time is a motivation for you to keep going. It's like instant results, yeah? It's win-win results. It's not just results from what you might get from it afterward, but you're getting instant results by feeling good in the moment, by having a good time. And so make that part of it. Make that the choice of the path of the first actions that you're going to take. Like, I'm really feeling like you think, oh, I could go about it this way, and I could go about it this way, and I could go about it this way. And you're trying to use your logical mind to see which is the best way to do it, but you're only thinking about those long-term results rather than thinking about what will keep me motivated, what will keep me having a good time, what will make me want to get out of bed in the morning and get on with this and actually take action on it, because that is the one that's going to feel best to you. That's going to get you the long-term results as well as the short-term results. So next in that same story, we've got raising your awareness about this. Again, what I've just told you is already raising your awareness about this. It's about what motivates you, what keeps you going, what will fuel you. We're all human beings, and it's just natural for our motivation to wane. And so we've got to think about what will keep us motivated, what will fire us up. It could be Aries that you could record something, you could record a video, or you could record your voice telling the story of how you want it to be. While you've got the initial motivation for it and the initial idea, and you're owning that idea, actually make a video of yourself or record your voice talking about it. Because if you listen to that back or watch that back, then you're going to get back into that energy again. As I said, it's natural for us as human beings for our attention and our motivation to wane. That just happens. The further away we get from that initial idea, the less appealing it is, because there's novelty, yeah. And you, above all other people, Aries, you like that. You like that novelty. You can go from one thing to another in that kind of way. And so you want to have an awareness of what works for you, what works best for you, to keep your focus, to keep your motivation, and to make it fun as well. Yeah, make it be aligned with you. You know, some people might want to write down that story, but if you're actually saying it, if you're actually like making a video of yourself talking about it, that's going to capture more of your energy so that you can tap back into that again. Um, so, yeah, raise your awareness of how you work, Aries, what's best for you. Remember, this has got to be a win-win situation. You can't just go for those long-term gains and results that you might get from it. Also, so you're moving ahead on this new idea, right? And other people need to be involved in this too. So when you're moving forward on an idea, the universe will bring in the cooperative components to that idea, either from within yourself or from outside of yourself too. And when you're in the very start of a new idea, it's good to keep it to yourself so that you can hold that energy that I just gave you that awareness about, that motivation energy, so that you haven't got other people's criticism or negativity or their points of view swaying you from that idea. But once you get going on it, once you get working on it, which I'm really feeling that you will be doing in March, then it comes the time to actually tell people about it. But be really careful about who you tell, Aries, because some people want to cut people down. They don't want to support you. They'll want to cut you down because you'll be making them feel bad about the ideas that they're not moving forward on, the ideas that they've had. Maybe the ideas that they've had and they haven't seeked out support from other people. And so when you seek out support from them, they want to cut you down for it. Be careful of people's motivations around this and who you talk to about it. Choose wisely. Choose wisely who you share this idea with and who you want to bring in. Choose those supportive people. Choose people that have got a similar outlook to you or similar goals to you. They don't have to have you don't have to be interested in the same thing, but they could be. Say if you were starting if your idea was to start off a business, maybe then talk to people that you know, friends that you know that have businesses. They don't have to have the same kind of business, but they're going to be able to help you and support you. I feel like this is a path of moving forward on this idea, and your higher self is laying it out for you. And it starts with that intention and owning that idea, and then choosing the best way for you to stay motivated, and then doing those things right at the start to ensure that you stay motivated. And then as you're moving forward on it and you're taking those action steps on it, which of course will be specific to you, then will be the time to start telling other people about it. Not necessarily to get them on board with it, but just to get that. It's like a camaraderie kind of support. Yeah. Someone's got your back. Someone knows what you're going through. Someone maybe can give you a little bit of advice based on them moving forward on a similar idea. So I'm feeling for some of you, you're going to be starting your own business off, something like that, and moving ahead on it. So that's bringing us into mid-month in this story. And mid-month, with this idea that you're moving forward on, it's going to bring something up. It's going to bring something up from the past. It's going to bring maybe someone that you've gone to for support. You realize that they're not your friend. It's going to bring something up like that. There's going to be some mud brought up, which you'll need to face. This is not a time for ignoring it. This is like fine tuning your vibration, fine tuning your focus on it. Anything that isn't in alignment with who you're becoming is going to be shown out for what it really is, for it not being in alignment with it. And that means that something unwanted happens. Either someone shows themselves to be not a friend or not supportive to you, or something shows that it just isn't aligned. I don't know. It's like maybe it could be things like the computer that you're using breaks down or something like that when you're starting a new business, or yeah, something like that. Technology or somebody or just something happens that you need to face. And this is saying don't let it go. Don't just ignore it, because if you're ignoring it, then you're saying that you want to keep your energy the same and you're not going to be able to move forward on that path. So this is your next step to moving forward on the path, facing that situation and getting the guidance from it. And this guidance card has come out because this is a pattern. What you've just needed to face, what broke, what showed up as not being in alignment with you, is a pattern that you've had. And so there are other things in your life that are a similar vibration to that thing that showed itself up. And so this is a really good time to get guidance from that thing that came up. In other words, get extended. What else is of that same vibration? How else have you been bringing people like that or things like that into your life? What else needs upgrading? Maybe if it is technology that's gone wrong, and if it's like you need better things around you to be able to do what it is. It could be like better tools or something like that that you need to move forward on your idea. And maybe you've been kind of coming from a vibration of lack and not picking the best for yourself, just making do with what you've got. And this is asking you to step up. So get the guidance from whatever it was that you needed to face around mid-month. Get the guidance from that because it's more far-reaching in your life. There's other things that are really similar to that in your life. So toward the end of the month with this story, with your March story, it slows down toward the end of the month. So the progression with this idea is slowing down, hence the need to keep that motivation up. But it's okay for it to slow down too, because toward the end of the month, you're getting a deeper understanding. Of course, anything that we do in the world, any idea that we have, anything that we create, any relationship that we get in, anything that happens really in our lives, it's to get on to know ourselves better. And we do get to know ourselves better as we are creating, as we are desiring things, trying to manifest them, taking action on them, creating things. Whether that's a family, a relationship, a business, an idea, a book, whatever it is that you're creating, you get a better understanding of yourself. And I'm feeling like that guidance that you've got mid-month has caused you to turn within a little bit more and to understand yourself a bit better. And so, how I was saying, at the start of an idea, it's good to keep it to yourself because you don't want other people's vibrations in. This is similar kind of energy toward the end of March for you, is that it's good to spend some time alone to sift through things, to sort through things that have come up for you, to do some of that inner work. Maybe a really good time to get a reading at the end of March too. But all in all, this is a really good story. I mean, this is creation at its best because you are moving forward on an idea, but you're setting firm foundations at the beginning of the month for that idea by getting your motivation straight, getting your awareness of how you work, what would be the best way to do it. Then you're bringing people in. Then you've gotten some kind of challenge mid-month for you to face, and then you're getting the guidance from that, the more far-reaching guidance from that, and applying that, and then doing some inner work toward the end of the month. And so I feel like moving on into April is really going to get going, but you're doing that firm foundations in March to get that idea going. Sounds good to me. What about your love life, Aries, in March? Yeah. One card is about opening your heart and knowing who you are. This is about up leveling and realizing that you're at a different level now and you're going to be around different people. So Aries, maybe you're in a relationship which isn't really a good match to you anymore, or not a good match to where you're going. It could be like you're starting off a business now, you're becoming this really creative person, and the partner you've got isn't a match to that, doesn't really believe in that kind of thing. There's a bit of a mismatch going on because you're stepping up. And that's natural, our paths diverge in relationships. Not all relationships are meant to last forever. In fact, very, very few of them do. And so remain open-hearted, even if you're parting ways with someone. Know who you are. Don't drop who you are, Aries, in order to stay in a relationship. Don't compromise yourself. Don't settle. Don't carry on with something just because you chose it before, because that's going to hold your energy back. You're meant for other things. And if you're single, just keep on raising your standards. It might be good for you to keep a clear vision of where you're at, what kind of partner that you want in, and as you're shifting into that energy yourself to become that person, as you're stepping up in your new ideas and you're creating more, then you're going to attract that person that is a match to that. Also, in your love life in March, you've got doubt, cancels, abundance, and cleanse. So, Aries, if you're thinking there's nobody out there for you, that all the good ones are taken, that there's no decent ones left, that everyone's that has the same problems out there, everyone has the same baggage, that kind of thing, that lack, that doubtful thinking about your love life, you've got to let go of that, you've got to cleanse that. The right person for you is out there. They are out there. They do exist because you know what, Aries, you exist. You are who you are. So of course there's matches out there for you. And so just let go of that belief and that thinking that there's nobody out there for you, and maybe relax a little bit on that desire to have the long-term relationship now, just because it might not be available now. It might not be divine timing for you to have that long-term relationship now. So why cut yourself off from love, Aries? It could be that a short-term relationship would be really good for you. You could have like someone's paths coming together, you going alongside each other, and then diverge later. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And so be open to that. Keep your heart open. That warmth card, keep your heart open, maybe to shorter term relationships, letting them in. What about your work, Aries, in March? You've got initiate and sabotage, right? This is about what I was talking about in your story. This is about when you start things off, when you initiate things. This is a pattern that you've had of sabotaging yourself, of not setting things off on firm foundations. Maybe you're impulsive and you just like jump into things, whether it's a relationship or starting or an idea or creating something. You just jump into it. You don't have a firm foundation. You don't have like really solid foundations. And that's how you've been sabotaging yourself, by just jumping in too fast. Don't do that, Aries. Don't do that this time. This idea that you've had, this story, it's to do with work. And it's allowing you to get to know yourself better, and to recognize this pattern that you've got, and that it is a sabotage. And so that instinctive, impulsive nature that you've got, it does serve you, but sometimes it sabotages you. And it sabotages you when it's something really important. And I'm picking up that a lot of you know this already, like you've applied it already. Maybe you've got a great relationship, say, and because you realized this, you realized that you were diving into relationships without getting to know someone first, and you realized that it was a sabotage, that impulsiveness was a sabotage, and so you learned to step back. Maybe you've done it in another area of your life, but I'm feeling like a lot of you have done this already. You've realized this in one area of your life, and it's time to realize that in your work too. You've got this impulsivity that actually sabotages you and stops you from the firm foundation. So however you did it before, however you sorted that sabotage out and initiated things on firm foundations, apply it to your work in March. Get those firm foundations sorted out. Let go of that sabotage. I mean, you're not going to let go of it because it's part of you, but you can get the benefits from it without getting those drawbacks from it. You can use it for you can let the positive aspects. You can let yourself get the positive benefits of it without those drawbacks. Aries, that was exciting. Almost lost everything. Also in your work, changes. You've got changes in your work, letting go of the past, right? This is key, especially if that idea, your story in March, is something to do with your work, which I'm really feeling that it is for you, Aries. To move forward in these changes, you've got to let go of the past. That means diving in with both feet. That means, like, if you're doing something new, then do something new. Stop doing the old thing. Yeah, you've got to let go of the past and actually choose those changes. Choose those changes with all of your energy. Don't just dip your toe in. Don't just dip your toe in the water. Go all in. Show the universe that you mean it. Choose those changes by putting your whole energy into that, and let go of the past. Let go of the work that you were doing before. This is saying, like, if you've got, say, a job and you're starting off a business, well, why not just go all in on your business and make it work? You're going to have so much more motivation if you do that as well, Aries. You'll be able to put all of your time and all of your energy into it. So in your work, you've got changes coming about. Go all in. Go all in, Aries. What about your money? in March? Aries? Okay, so what's going on in the short term? In the short term now with your money matches a story that you've been telling. And so maybe you've been struggling with your money, or maybe there's been a limit on your money. The same kind of money has been coming in. Maybe you've been receiving money from someone else from some kind of a negative situation in the past. And so you're telling yourself you can, maybe you're getting money from the government or money from an ex, that kind of thing. You've got an old limited story, an old story that you're telling. And your financial situation is matching that at the moment, Aries, in this moment. And this is for you to recognize this month that you've got that story. Because when you're moving forward on this idea, you don't want your old money story. You don't want that idea just to match your old money story. You don't want it to bring more lack and limitation. You want to open that up. So this is the month to get looking at your money mindset and what that story is that you've been telling. We tell all kinds of stories about our money. And the universe can't get past that. It's got to comply with your focus and with your energy. And so if that's the energy you're putting out about lack and limitation, if you're telling a story about how hard it is and your struggle, something like that, then the universe has got to comply with that. It won't let you move past that. Even if you're doing lots of different work in other areas, it won't let you get past that money story. And so once you figure out what that limiting money story is and you detach from it, then you'll need to wait. And this is because you'll need to wait for your financial circumstances to change. There's a lag time. When you change your focus and you change your beliefs and you change in that mindset, and then you start taking different action based on that, then it takes some time to get the actual results of that. So your financial results of your mindset change and this energy change that you're doing by doing this inner work, it's not going to instantly manifest. There's going to be a lag time before it manifests. And so this is a warning. Don't let that lag time cause you to go back to your old story. Do you know what I mean? It's like if you're at the beginning of the month, you're taking a look at this. Like as you watch this, maybe you'll get straight on it. It's like, yeah, I do have that old story of struggle with my money and things not working out and me losing money, or me always having to, a bill always coming in when I get some extra money, that kind of thing. And you get on that and you let go of it. And then toward the end of the month, if you're throwing your arms up in the air saying still didn't work, I'm still struggling, and you go back to that same old story. You've got to wait, and you've got to be consistent with that detachment from the story. So don't let that story kick back in, because it's going to want to kick back in again. It's going to seem like you're getting guidance and feedback that it's still true about you because of this lag time. But you need to be consistent in telling yourself that new story, telling yourself that it is going to change. It's like, no, that was my old story. Yes, it's still manifesting now because it's my old story and because there's a lag time. But soon enough, it's going to turn around and it's actually going to change. Because you can change it this time. You can change it this month, and you want to do that, especially with this idea that you're moving forward on. There you go, Aries. If you like this reading, please click like and subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment. What did you get out of that? How did it resonate with you? I hope you have an amazing month. Aries, if you'd like a private reading, don't forget there's a link around there. Also, check out your other readings too. There's a playlist up there so you can find all your Aries readings easily. Check out your rising sign, your moon sign, and maybe your Venus sign too if you're into the love thing, Aries. Have an amazing month. I'll see you next time. Bye.